there was, and I know you all know who he is, Mr. Lou Dobbs, who covered Venezuela extensively all the time. And he was always so proud of President Trump and made it very, very clear. But, I was wondering, when I was watching on the Venezuela news break, what would Lou say if he was with us today? As many of you guys know, we tragically lost Lou Dobbs. And it's just been such a heartbreak, because I know he'd be so thrilled with the President of the United States. So joining me to discuss just that is John Fawcett. He's the host of The Great America Show, and he's with us now. And, John, like I said before, I was so happy to hear that President Trump was going to Venezuela, because this is something that he wanted to do. He wanted to capture Nicolas Maduro earlier on, back, I think it was like 2018, we're hearing about this, 2017. And so it was good to see that he was able to carry these plans out, for his sake at least. But if Lou was here today, he would have been thrilled, because I know Lou extensively covered the election, the rumors about the election influence that they had, we could say. So what do you make of all of this? What do you think Lou would say if he was here today?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Grant. I appreciate it. Thank you for keeping the legacy and the name of Lou Dobbs alive, because over the weekend, all I saw was Lou Dobbs this on Twitter. And you and I were both at Fox when Lou was fired from it. They can frame it whatever they want to, but he was fired from Fox News for talking about stolen elections. Now, Brianna, as I watched this all unfold over the weekend, thought I was going to take the weekend off, apparently not. As I watched it all unfold, I said, there's got to be more to it. There's got to be more to just the drugs. And as we saw, it turns out it's more than just the drugs, it's the oil. But over the weekend, President Trump was sort of posting some subliminal messages over on his Truth Social regarding elections and stolen elections and certain companies and things that reportedly, and unverified, but reportedly took place in Venezuela. So a lot of people are saying that there's more to this than just the oil. There's more to this than just the drugs and the hundreds of thousands of people that Maduro has killed. But there's a silver lining to it, I think, and I hope. And I know the great Lou Dobbs is smiling down, knowing that once again, Brianna, he will be vindicated on yet another issue.
Yeah, and it's so impressive to sit back and see, because I was thinking about it all weekend. It's another issue. Again, it was Fox pushing him out for this reason alone, and it's so incredible to see possibly the truth just kind of get to the top of the surface of all of this. We look forward to that. But things are getting kind of weird, because people like John Brennan are complimenting the president for how he ran all of this in Venezuela, and I know the mainstream media wasn't expecting him to be so complimentary, but Brennan can't even deny what took place. Let's listen in to clip 19.
What did you make of the events of the last 24 hours here?
Well, Jonathan did a very good job teeing this up. First of all, again, the U.S. military and U.S. intelligence are second to none in terms of their capabilities, their competence, talent, as well as their courageous actions. And so it does look as though it was a flawlessly executed operation, at least according to what we hear from the administration so far. And a lot of planning went into that. But that was, I don't want to say it's the easy part, because it was a sort of a complex operation. But this happened less than 24 hours ago. Now the big question is, what is the impact of the action? I think there are a lot of people in Venezuela outside who are celebrating the departure of Maduro. As you pointed out, he was an illegitimately installed leader, a dictator of Venezuela. He was involved in drug running for a number of years. He's been involved in a lot of criminal activity. And so yes, it's good that he is no longer in charge. But the big question is, what is going to happen now after this?
Yeah, so I think that's the big question here. What do you think is going to happen after this? But most importantly, what do you think about just Brennan analyzing all of this and saying that they did an incredible job?
Brianna, anytime John Brennan, Lindsey Graham, John Bolton are in agreements with President Trump on something, it terrifies the heck out of me. And the only thing part about this whole situation that scares me a little bit is that you've got companies like Schlumberger and Halliburton getting ready to come on in and pounce, and it's these military-industrial complex companies, Brianna, that you and I talk about more often than not, who have destroyed America. They've destroyed some of the things we've done overseas. You look at what they've done to the Middle East. They've absolutely destroyed the Middle East. And now you're going to watch companies like Schlumberger and, like I said, Halliburton and the rest of them go in there and probably try to clean up Venezuela. That's the only part that scares the heck out of me. As for the Maduro capture, whatever you want to call it, I think it was long overdue. It goes deeper than just spoke about. It goes deeper than that. A lot of things, the things that people are talking about right now, Brianna, is the immigration issue. You get over 10 million Venezuelan migrants leave that country under Maduro in just the last few years. By them getting this country back, Brianna, it's going to bring down immigration levels that are going to Colombia, immigration levels that are coming into America. Mark Mitchell, who you have on the show all the time, he's got me hooked on this Reddit thing. So anytime I want to look at something, Brianna, I go to Reddit and I see. So I was on Reddit last night and I'm reading what these people are saying from inside of Venezuela. Family members, relatives, inside Venezuela, and these people are thrilled. You look at what he's done to this country, Brianna. Since 2013, he shrunk their GDP by 75%. In 2018, he had their hyperinflation at near 1,000,000%. He brought oil production down from 3 million barrels a day, down to about 800,000. I mean, he absolutely destroyed this country, and the only people that were getting rich, Brianna, were him and his cronies at the top. These poor people to finally be liberated and finally have a country that they can go back home to.
Yeah, well, that's what's so exciting about all of this, honestly, is the fact that now we have a legitimate reason why these asylum claims will likely be shot down in immigration court. You know, I know people were a little hard on Kristi Noem yesterday, and I don't think she completed her sentence properly, but she was telling people that those Venezuelans that are in our country right now, obviously they no longer have protected status, but they can apply for asylum if they want to. But the reality of it is there's no court that's going to approve it because the threat has been removed from Venezuela. And although obviously it's going to take some time before the government kind of trickles away and all these communists flee the country, the reality is they're going to have a transformation over these next few years, and it doesn't allow those who have come into our country looking for protective status and looking for asylum to have a lane anymore now that he's been removed from all of this. What do you expect the immigration courts to do? Do you think this is going to be a massive push? Because I think we've taken in over 500,000 of them so far. Not us, we didn't want to do it. Obviously, it was the Biden regime. But how do you think this is going to go for the immigration courts, which are already flooded with immigrants?
I got to be honest with you, Brianna. I don't think, and I know so many of you living in New York, you know what it's like. It's illegal here, so you have no choice but, to commingle with these people. I talk to so many of them, specifically from Venezuela, and you see them a lot working in restaurants here in New York. They don't want to be here, okay? They had no choice but to be here. Now, I'm not giving it out for these people to come to this country illegally. They're illegal migrants, illegal aliens. They should not be here in the first place. But at the end of the day, I don't think they want to be here. Those people want to be in their country where they can thrive, where they can make a living, where they can live with their loved ones. You look at so many of them, they come here, Brianna, by themselves as adolescents. They make all this money, they send it back home, they don't see their family, they miss marriages, they miss deaths, they miss everything by coming here to America. That, I think, is another silver lining in what President Trump did here in Venezuela. If they can build this country back up, you'll have so many of these people who don't want to be here to begin with go back to their country and self-deport on their own. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. That's just, like I said, a silver lining.
Yeah, no, it is. I actually want to play this video. John, I don't know if you remember this. This was pretty gruesome footage. I remember, I think I was working Trish Regan's show at the time too, and we were playing this footage of the protests in Venezuela and how, they were just, it's an evil, evil regime. But protesters who were peaceful, maybe they're throwing a rock, they ran them over them. And there was no regard for their lives. I believe one person was killed in all of this. But again, this was about 6 years ago, plus years ago, so I'm trying to remember the details on this. But, obviously that's going to trigger a lot of people, get them fired up, and probably why you see what's unraveling there. But, this regime was pure evil. What they were doing to peaceful protesters obviously got them really upset and created this violent surge. But they were running over protesters with their military tanks. This is insane.
Brianna, what does this remind you of on a smaller scale? This was almost America.
Yeah.
This